Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Sunday, May 1st slate of NBA and MLB action. Yes, we are finally on to round two, and I'm super excited for it because we actually have two really solid matchups, and I'm really excited to watch them. But first things first, before we go ahead and dive into any of that, first, I did just want to go ahead and give a special shout out to my dad. Obviously, he won't be watching these videos. He does not do any sports betting, but it is my dad's birthday today, so I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday. So if you guys are watching this and you guys are able to, see this section, make sure that you guys do go ahead and comment down below. I'll make sure to show him that just how many people truly do care about it. So special shout out to my dad. Happy birthday to him. We should be going out for dinner later tomorrow night, which is good because it'll be after most of these games are over. So I'm super excited to dive into it, though. Full MLB slate, 2 games in the NBA, and they're both really solid games. So I do have one pick from each of those, and then I do have an MLB play as well. I'm recording this a little bit early once again just to try to get some extra sleep for tomorrow. So no fade play, but it will be in the pinned comment section once again. Those have not been hitting very recently, so we may let that go here for a little while, but I'm not really sure. So I'll keep you guys updated, though, for sure. So first things first, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. Truly does mean a lot to me. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap of yesterday. I'm in a really great mood. We finally had a winning day. April was awful to us, just in so many different ways, but specifically in sports betting. I mean, man, I had an awful month, but I'm looking to really bounce back. May is going to be our month. I feel it. We're going to be starting it off with 2 great games, and we're going to just carry that momentum. I truly do feel it. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll do a quick recap. So we did have the Marlins money line versus the Mariners. That one actually did end up working out for us. The Marlins did continue their streak. They're on a 6-game win streak right now. They're actually just playing some really solid baseball. So, you can't argue with that. Marlins have just been playing really well. Then we did have the Angels money line. The White Sox really did do a good job of taking care of business, and they did. And the White Sox were able to snap the Angels' 5-game win streak. So, the Angels didn't really play terrible. They just couldn't get the bats going, which, you're not going to be able to win if you can't get those bats going. So then we did have the Astros and the Blue Jays under 8.5 runs. That was a no sweat bet at all. It was actually extremely easy. So that one, I'm super glad. Both sides of the field, they were really just getting things done. So we actually had just played really well. So I'm super excited to dive into it. We had a profitable day. We needed this. This was huge, and I'm ready. I'm dialed in. I found 2 plays that I really like, and I really hope that they work out for us. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First play of the day, we're going to be taking Al Horford under 6.5 rebounds here versus Milwaukee at plus 105 odds. Now, I know this one does seem a little bit skeptical. I know Al Horford is a huge part of the Boston Celtics just in general, but I think, truthfully, for this one, I think the line is 1 rebound too high. If it was at 5.5, I probably wouldn't be taking this. But at 6.5, I'm gonna be giving it a chance, and here's why. Versus Brooklyn in their last series, I know, and this is a completely different team, but versus Brooklyn, he actually only went over this. He only got 7 or more rebounds one time versus Brooklyn. And let's be honest, Brooklyn is a terrible rebounding team. And so he only went over it once and he crushed it. Obviously, he had 15. So he went absolutely berserk. But it makes me a little bit nervous because, like, with this exact line, because he did only go over once. And Brooklyn is not a good rebounding team in any stretch of the imagination. So the fact he was only able to go over once makes me think that this line is just a little bit too high. And versus Milwaukee, in his last 2 matchups since he has joined the Boston Celtics, he has only grabbed 5 and 7, so he has finished right around this line. 1 right on the hook, one rebound short. So regardless, he's kind of split the season series. And in the last 2 closeout games since Robert Williams had been back for the Boston Celtics, we did see a decrease in Al Horford's minutes. Now, I don't think that this is going to happen for the Milwaukee Bucks. They are going to need him for sure. But in the last 2 games versus Brooklyn, we did see him only have 28 and 26 minutes. So we could see more of a limited run here for Al Horford. I don't think that's the case, and that's not what I'm banking on. It is just another fun little stat. And in the last 3 games, the Milwaukee Bucks allow the 6th fewest rebounds per game, and Boston in their last 3 games play at the 7th slowest pace in the entire NBA. So they play at a slow pace. Milwaukee doesn't give up a lot of rebounds. He's seen a little bit of a decrease in minutes. He's split the series so far in over and under on rebounds. And when it comes to power forwards, Milwaukee allows the 14th fewest rebounds per game to opposing power forwards. Now, I know that's not like a huge edge or anything, but every little bit helps. So I do think that this one goes under. I think Al Horford is going to be more of a like facilitator / defender type of person here for the Boston Celtics, as opposed to more of crashing the glass. I feel like the Time Lord is probably going to be the one that really gets it done there. So that is going to be our first play of the day. Al Horford under 6.5 rebounds here versus Milwaukee at plus 105 odds. Our second play of the day, we're going to be taking Jaren Jackson Jr. We're taking under 12.5 points here versus the Golden State Warriors at minus 105 odds. Now, if you look at it, his last series versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, he did go under in 3 of the last 4. The only one that he did go over was in the closeout game, so he had a really good closeout game. But if you take a look at it versus the Warriors this year, he did go over in 3 straight games. But let's do a quick little dive into it. The Warriors are pretty much healthy now. In those games that he did hit the over, one game they didn't have Draymond Green. And in 2 of those games, they didn't have Klay Thompson. Those are obviously 2 huge defenders here for the Golden State Warriors, and I do think that it would be different if they were playing. And versus Minnesota, Jaren Jackson Jr., we all know he's a very foul-happy guy. He got 4 or more fouls in every single game versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. He had 5 in all of them besides 1. There was 1 game that he had 4, and 2 of them he fouled out. So he definitely is in foul trouble very, very frequently. So we could see more of that, which would limit his minutes, which would limit his amount of points. So hopefully he's foul happy once again. And in the last 7 games, the Warriors allow the fewest points per game to opposing power forwards. Now, I don't necessarily know how the matchups are going to work because this is the first time we've seen both these teams pretty much healthy. So I'm not sure how the matchups are going to work. But if you take a look at it, obviously Ja Morant is going to be out there, and so I don't know who they're going to really match up with. Are they going to put Klay Thompson on Ja? I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to play more of like a zone? I don't know exactly how this is going to work. But I do think that regardless, Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to have a pretty decent defender put on him, and I think that it's going to make him underperform for sure. Plus, I feel like this is going to be a really great game, just a Ja versus Steph game, which I think is just going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm super excited to watch it. But yeah, so that's going to be our second play of the day. Jaren Jackson Jr. under 12.5 points here versus Golden State at minus 105 odds. Now, for our MLB play of the day, we're going to be taking the Dodgers. We're taking their run line minus 1.5 here versus the Tigers at minus 110 odds. Now, the Dodgers have been killing it this year. We all know that they're a very, very solid team. They are 7-1 to the run line at home and as a home favorite. So they've been favored in every single home game that they've had this year, and they are 7-1 to the run line. So they have been just absolutely fantastic. And just in general, over the course of the entire season so far, the Dodgers are 13-6 to the run line. So they've just been a very, very great team here in this season. And the Tigers, they are currently on a 6-game losing streak. So could that snap today? Maybe, but I just don't really foresee it happening. And the Tigers on the road this year to the run line, they are 3-4. So, you know, they don't cover a lot more than they do. And they're 7-12 to the run line on the year. And Eduardo Rodriguez for the Tigers has a 5.03 ERA on the year, so he's definitely a hittable pitcher. And you don't want those Dodgers to start getting hits, that's for sure, because the points are just going to rally up very, very quickly. So that is going to do it for today's video. That was our final play, Dodgers minus 1.5 here versus the Tigers at minus 110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, May is going to be our month. I'm super excited for it. We have obviously playoff basketball, which is one of my favorite times of the year, and we have a ton of MLB action too. So I'm really excited to dive into it. Make sure you guys do check out the pinned comment section for the fade play of the day. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Sander signing out. Peace.